Welcome to this Circle of Resilience. And we would love to tell you a little bit more about our 9 ways to well-being. Because these 9 petals to resilience, like the petals of a flower, to us are, yeah, the ways to practice resilience and to, it's like, it's not a linear path, but a way of moving through life. And you can enter anywhere in these 9 ways. There's no first this, then that. But we would love to tell you a little bit more about what we mean by them and yeah, how they can help you.
Mm.
So we would love to, yeah, dive a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah. And we came to those 9 ways reading lots of literature about, the positive psychology and the talents and, things that um, help you to feel fulfillment in your life. And then we felt, oh, yeah, but they need a little bit of a feminine touch. So we just tuned into our bodies to feel what aligns for us. And so we would like to start at the base to how do you take care of yourself? The nurturing self-care, the loving, the realizing that you need to, nourish yourself not only with good food and clear water, and but also what do you read, what do you listen to, what do you who do you allow in your life that influences you? So how do you really, check in with yourself? Oh, this is what I need, and how do I, you know, um, make sure that that happens. That you take time in a day to check in with yourself, and we all know this story about how you have to put the mask in the airplane first on your own face, and then you help others. But for women it seems to be so logical to first reach out. So at the base of our well-being is our ability to, make space for loving, nurturing self-care.
Mm, yeah. And then feeding your soul.
Hmm.
Or, not only your soul, but your body, your soul, and everything in between. Yeah.
Yeah, nourishing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And from that, we go to this place of relaxation and um, recharging. We charge our phones every day to keep them going. And well, for me, in the whole journey that is behind me, this is one of the pedals that is kind of, I like it, but it's also hard to keep focusing on it. So I really like to be on fire and use my inner spark to do, but we always also need that time to fully be relaxed, like a little bit leaning back and filling up your cup again to, yeah, to know that your phone doesn't run without energy all day long. It needs to be recharged, and that the same, it counts for us. How do you, or what do you need to recharge? What do you need? What ways can you fully relax?
Mm.
And of course, our minds are, I love this quote, that they are beautiful servants but terrible leaders. So how can you just let them be and listen to them, but also know, okay, so what do I need right now to fully come to rest and lean back a little.
Mm, yeah, the beautiful art of doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
We help each other in that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And what we also help each other with is the art of joy and creativity. How joy is the ultimate creator. That when you realize your creative power and you make time for that, and you just feel this bubbling inside, that's beauty is not only on the outside, beauty is also from what we can make. And my hands always, they're so happy if I can make things, to just this creative flow and to make beautiful things, maybe create a little heart to give to someone, or a card, or there's so much that we can do with our creativity that is um yeah, that brings joy into the world. And sometimes it feels like, oh, but you have to do things that matter. And in our Western society, we have this very limited idea of what matters. But we have found so much that being in this creative energy, in this creative power, and doing it from joy is like an amazing matter, that brings magic into the life of ourselves and of others. So we love this petal.
You do. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, one of our other passions for me totally links to joy is beloved body. And I cannot say that without doing this. you know, I've really learned that my body wants to move. I um we all know this thing that we live only from here. We're walking heads. But when I realized that underneath this is a beautiful body that is, like you said, your hands can create things. All of your body is needed, or we can include it into everything we do. Then you become so much more. I really can do it without moving. Yeah, it's so much richer when we make contact, when things are embodied. It's not for nothing that we in a lot of women's circles talk about embodiment, because when you use your whole body, when everything, the ugly parts, or the things we say are ugly or think, usually it's about the thinking that's ugly. But what if it can all move? What if it's all part of you, and you allow or invite it in as, this is me, this is all these parts make me to who I am?
Mm.
How can I use this movement, and well, and just as the first petal, nurture this body to, and be thankful for it, that it does. I love to use my hands and thank my wrists for allowing my hands to move, or my feet for carrying me all day, or make me able to go places and dance. And all parts of our body matter.
Mm.
Yeah, and I love that all these parts can join on this journey.
Yeah, and that they're all related. They all come together and they make you this whole, and it's not, you can pick one, it's this whole. Yeah, so that's also, um for me, that links to the next petal. The next way to well-being is to take care of your relationships. And I think the same way that everything in yourself is connected, we are more and more awakening to the fact that we are also all connected. I'm just reading this beautiful book about the hidden life of trees and how they are connected, with the roots, but also with electromagnetic vibrations, and for us, it's the same. We don't have to touch someone to know how they are. Um, our energy field, our connection is so much bigger. Um, and it's so good to do that. How do you say that? To that consciously, to really make a conscious decision that you take care of your relations, and that you realize it's a it's a it's a continuous process. And yeah, And sometimes you meet things in a relationship, things that you that you see back in someone that trigger you, and it's, you're looking into a mirror, but they're also so rich in learning how to do this human journey, into, so how do I keep opening up? How do I dare to? Relationships is so much also about the heart. How do I dare to open my heart every time? And yeah, and realize this. It's also an embodied feeling for me, because I can feel that, if I lean back, I know there is there is a lineage behind me, you know, and if I open my heart, I realize I can share. So I know that, this road that I walk is mine, but I'm not walking it alone, and this, yeah, that is a very powerful way to be more be more you,
Hmm.
and be more well you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I love how these connections that come to life are also this, we talked about this before, this invisible net
Mhm.
or web of connections that we can lean into and be held by. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really reminds me of the trees, that it's just there,
Yeah, yeah, and
even though we don't think about it. Yeah.
yeah, so relationships, where you can just be without having to fix someone, or they don't need to fix you. It's like your breath just goes like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
It's not about, living up to expectations, but to find people that you can really be, mm, just be with, like the trees. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful to invite that more into your life.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't know, this is not a coincidence, but of course this links to our next petal, which is nature's wisdom. The wisdom of the trees is also, it's even bigger than just the trees. How nature lives in cycles, and it reminds us again and again and again that the sun rises and it goes down. The spring comes, and the flowers start to appear, and in fall they come to rest, and then in winter everything is waiting, or not even waiting, but underneath the ground, preparing to rise again, and then in summer it can be fully there, and the moon, and there are so many cycles in nature. And once we realize the beauty of that and the wisdom that's inside there, and yeah, we can use that and live by our own cycles and find our own rhythm. I think that's, for
Mm.
me, that's one of the things I've learned there, to sink back and surrender to my own rhythm. So what is my flow? What is my natural way of moving through life? And it sounds really big, but yeah, I think nature is a really good mirror for us to that, and how it can also just recharge us by being there and show us things, and yeah, remind us of these connections.
Yeah, and it's also just really healthy to be outside, to
Yeah.
walk in nature, you
Yeah.
know, and to just breathe in the fresh air, and other parts of your being are a light. Yeah, they come to light. They light up. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the sun kissing your skin.
Yes, that's an amazing feeling,
Yeah.
you cannot be grumpy while you really feel the light on your skin.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, and I love this next way to well-being. It's part of a lot of projects that I do, and it's about giving and receiving. And there's been quite a bit of of studies done on the power of giving and how it really makes you feel, yeah, more centered and more happy with life, and it's simple things like giving compliments, or or giving stuff, whatever, the art of giving, the generous, your generous heart that is opened up. It's a beautiful part of life. So the original one is just giving, but we have realized during our travels together, and talking to a lot of people, that receiving is almost just as important. How is it if you really receive a compliment, or something that someone is giving you from the heart? How do I open up to all the things that life wants to give me? And can I feel gratitude for that? It's I love this phrase of a priori gratitude. So it's like I'm already grateful for what tomorrow is going to bring me, or I'm curious about how I will be in a year. But that is all connected to my ability to give what wants to flow through me, and to receive what wants to come to me. It's just so then I get to like stand in the flow of life. And yeah, and it's just really nice to make someone happy, and actually receiving what someone wants to give is also making someone happy.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's a very connected with the relationships, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's also fun to do it with strangers.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and for me, it's so surprising still every time how it's always there. Both of them are always there at the same time. When you're giving, there's also receiving, and
Yeah.
the other way around. It's never. And I think that's so much about abundance. There is enough, and tapping into there, then this flow just happens.
Yeah.
Just naturally occurs. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We just love our flower of resilience.
We love our own thoughts and work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, but it's also because, yeah, we this is what we do. This is what we practice. Yeah. Yeah. So we really feel it's not only from here. It's all, yeah, that's what we do. Our whole bodies are with this. And the thing that sparked it is maybe the next pedal for me, and that's being open to learning, to almost like soaking in all everything that you're curious about. For me, it's about opening up to like this childlike wonder to life. Wow, how does that work? And being eager to, wanting to learn more. And for me, or for a lot of us in the Western world, learning is linked to schools, and I think that's, well, fortunately things are changing, but a lot of the time it's so about linear kind of learning, and you just have to know this, or um, yeah, it's within these walls and lines you have to learn and know stuff. But being open to learn is so much more fun to me, and so much more about kind of a circular growth. Like it's
Mm.
following your curiosity and finding something, and then following it somewhere else. And yeah, peeling, kind of, because it's not only about the world but also about yourself. So peeling off those layers of yourself that you find, and then be surprised by what it is you find underneath, about the light and the fire and the shining sun that you are. Yeah, and how to be be open to that, and then yeah, find stuff that's really yummy and
Yummy, yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, as children, or actually, I think as people, we cannot not learn. You know, today I know more than a week ago. And as a child, you do it so naturally. You know, you just learn to walk, or you learn a new word, or you know, and if you are allowed to do that in your natural rhythm, you know, not because someone is giving you a grade or something, you know, there's this yeah, excitement about learning, excitement about expanding, you know, it's, and all these words, they sometimes have this very uh like a, you know, you're reaching out, you're expanding, you're growing, it has to be more or
More,
better
more, more.
or whatever, you know, but that's not what it is about, you know, it's just about the miracle of life and just, yeah. Mm. Yeah, and then the last one is the about the miracle of life, to realize that we are um we're part of a whole, and there's this, you know, it's awareness, or you call it spirituality, or it is awakening. I also like that word very much. And at the same time, it just goes past the words.
Hmm.
But it is somewhere a realization that, okay, so I'm connected with the earth that comes up in me, and I'm connected from the cosmos, and it comes down in me, and through me, through this body, life is expressed. And if I know that there is you know, that there is spirit, however I want to give it words, um, it brings it brings a richness to answers like, what is the meaning of life? And those big questions, they need to be asked. I mean, the greatest people that I know are the people that ask these questions, you know, and they don't necessarily get all the answers, or they get an answer for the rest of their life, but they do ask, you know, they do ask these questions, and that's how they're also connected, you know, that's also how, where they get to a place where they stand for something,
Mm.
you know, where you can feel, but all life is important, all life is valuable. And um, I stand for inclusion, I stand for the richness of life, you know, there's this, but that comes from a source. You connect to source, you connect to this inner knowing, you connect to the goddess, you know, it, there's so many words, but it is this feeling that you realize, like, oh, I am this human being, but my experience is bigger than that. Yeah.
Yeah, and um, I also love how it, you know, I was very, very young when I started to ask these questions, and I was too small to kind of do something with it. But once you grow, you can also kind of use this wisdom or awareness or exactly, I should have said whatever word you want to call it. You can use it to shape your life. Like this helps you to, for me, it's also kind of an anchor or an
Mhm.
compass to navigate and to, yeah, um, yeah, take shape or shape how you want your life to. It's so hard to put it in words because it's not like um, you can just create whatever you want. well, you okay. Before we go into this discussion in my head, I love how it also is about, yeah, choosing and shaping and finding your own path. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I think what what comes up for me when you say it, it's like, okay, we have this fine line between, um yeah, you have responsibility for your life and you can take ownership, but you're not the one in charge of
Mm,
exactly how it's going to be. So you can put out a longing, an intention, and then you also have to surrender and say,
mm,
okay, I don't know the details, and sometimes we believe that you can fix your life,
mm,
you can
yeah.
fix your partner, you can fix your life, you can fix everything. But that's not what true living is about. It's also about the surrendering, going like, oh. So I activate this longing and I say yes to my inspiration. And then I also go like, okay,
Show me.
show me. Yeah.
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 Yeah. And being willing to, I think that's what I meant, being willing to take one step,
Mm.
but take the step and then surrender, but also take the step. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this already makes me happy and curious about the beautiful conversations we will be having about this. And,
Yeah.
some of the conversations will follow one of these. Maybe others will move a little bit around or pick a few. But these are really yeah, our little helpers in this path and journey of resilience.
Yeah.
And if you've if this made you curious about what we are going to do, you can sign up here, sign up on the website if you watch it on the website. If you watch it online somewhere else, go to no, not the circle of resilience.online,
Yeah.
and you can sign up to join this journey where
Yeah.
we use these 9 ways to well-being.
Yeah. Yeah, and in our opening circle, we will do like a beautiful exercise with these 9 ways to just also feel into, okay, so how much of my attention goes to these different, ways, to these different petals. How, and it's a really nice way to connect to it and to also feel into, okay, so maybe can I spend a little bit more time with it, and it's, yeah. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that as well.
Yes, we are.
Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. And
We hope to see you
yeah,
there.
yes, we do.